video will explain how to use List Quick Views to swap between summary values and time series periods. First of all, we'll log in to ProDiver. Open the dive book that you're working with and select a suitable dive plan that has time dimensions. Next, dive on a dimension that has few values. And then we're going to create the first List Quick View for the summary values. So in the Edit options, find Add Quick Views and then Add a List Quick View. We're going to call this Value. And we're just going to list the 3 summary columns that we have in the model. OK that, and then close. Now we can create the new column that we're going to call Value. And to do that, the syntax is $, open brackets, the name of the List Quick View, and close brackets. And we're going to copy that parameter into the label so that we get the same heading as the data. And we're just going to change the options so that we have no decimal places. So now you can see we have a new column called Quantity, but it's actually not named quantity, it's taking the parameterized value from this List Quick View. So if we change it to sales, we see sales, and the value is the same as the old sales column. And if we change it to cost, it will change to cost, and it will be exactly the same as the old cost column. So now we can get rid of these 3 columns that we no longer need, so we'll just delete those, and we're ready to use this value column in a time series comparison. Create your time series by opening the time series control panel and click Add. We're going to use the month-year time dimension, and we're going to select Date Set by Quick View as our current date definition, and the default value will be the last date in the model. Now we're going to add 3 templates for year-to-date versus last year-to-date, quarter-to-date versus last quarter-to-date, and month-to-date versus last month-to-date. You can actually select time series with different syntax, but if you do that you'll have to modify the period names to make them look like the others so that it will work with the List Quick View. Then we click Next, and we're just going to select Value as our data column. We don't need quantity, sales and cost because we're using the parameterized value column. Then we'll click Finish, and now you see that we have all of the time series columns and the current date quick view. This means that we can change the current date. We still have the old value column, so we can delete that, and we're also going to delete all of these time series columns that we don't need anymore, because we're going to create a new List Quick View for the period. We'll leave the year-to-date columns there as comparative data so that we know we're on the right track. So go back to the Edit menu and we'll go back to the Quick Views, and this time we'll add a List Quick View that we're going to call Period. And the values we're going to use here are the time series values, year-to-date, quarter-to-date and month-to-date. And we're going to just OK that and close. Now this isn't going to work as a quick view until we create our new time series columns with the parameters. So we'll just double click again to create a new column. We'll find the value year-to-date column first of all, and wherever we see year-to-date we're going to replace that with the parameter $, open bracket, period, which is the List Quick View we've just created. And we're going to be using that a few times, so we just make sure you select just the parameterized part of that syntax, copy it into the label, and we're going to insert before that the parameter for the value and call that column value period, and OK. You can see now that we have the same value in this column as we have in the original value year to date column, but we've also got the additional parameter of the cost in the title. We're going to do exactly the same for the other time series columns, so we'll find value last year to date and we'll change the year to date part of that syntax with the parameter for period. We'll paste that into the label again and we'll insert the parameter for value, and we'll insert last, and we'll call this column value last period, and OK. And you can see that that also equals the same value as we had in the value last year to date column. Then we've just got the two difference columns to add. So we'll choose the difference column, insert the parameter period, and use that in the label as well, and call the label difference, and we will call that difference period. OK that, and we've got exactly the same value again. And the very last one now is the percentage change column, and we can just insert the parameters and add percent difference period and call that percent diff period. So now we have all of the difference columns and the year to date and last year to date column exactly as we had it before. So now we have the option to change the value from quantity sales or cost, and also the period from month to date, year to date or quarter to date, and we also have the option to change the current date settings. So all we need to do now is just to get rid of these columns here that we no longer need because they were only left there to compare to. Now the beauty of this is that you no longer need to have a report with multiple columns going across the page. You have multiple possibilities within only a small section of your screen. And this is invaluable for when you publish your report to Diveport, so that you can just keep all of your data within a very small area of the screen and use the quick views to change the values that you see.